I know these Gen 5 legends have always been called the Tau trio, but with Reshiram and Zekrom being the yin and yang, I've never understood where Kyurem fits in. We're running them all, and let's find out. First though, in battle it is probably the worst of the three, but to be fair, 130-ish in both attacks and HP is great, 90-ish otherwise is also really good. Having Ice as a secondary type as always makes it worse defensively, but pretty awesome offensively, which it can take advantage of with its great move pool even just by level up. Worst of the three or not, this is still an easy 5 stars. And it is available pretty much immediately after becoming champion in Black and White, unless I'm mistaken, but in the sequels it is a good way into the post-game content, but since it isn't a version exclusive, it actually gets the same 2 stars just like the others. But where does it fit into the Tau trio? You have Yin and Yang, Reshiram and Zekrom, then what I'm just now learning is that the absence of those is called Wu-Ji, which is really cool on its own, but even better when you notice that its ice typing could tie into the idea of absolute zero, the absolute absence of heat or energy. All of this goes really nicely with the in-game fusion stuff, with Kyurem being the empty vessel left over from the dragon splitting. But fusions are gonna get their own video, 5 stars. However, in design, I do think that it is once again the worst of the trio. It is still a very cool legendary dragon though, for sure. The icy wing things have always looked off to me, and in general its proportions are a bit weird. But the icy jaws and horns hiding those empty, soulless eyes look incredible. And I do like the fact that its tail has this almost empty holder thing on the end, which then gets filled with its later fusions. Even if it's not as cool as the others, it's still a very good design. 4.5 stars, which does mean that it lands a solid 4.125 stars overall. Kyurem White and Black hold a special place in my heart, as the game based on their mechanic is where I had my first and still most successful video long ago. We're rating them all, and I'm going to do them both in this one video since they are more alike than they are different. They're both Dragon Ice, which is really cool, but not that great, unlike their stats, which are insane. 125 HP, 95 speed, then 170 and 100 in their respective attack or defense preference is obviously amazing, and I actually don't remember how their move pool works, but I'm pretty sure they keep Kyurem's already really good move pool and then just add their original respective signature move and their new signature move, I think, which is really strong, obviously, and there's no reason this shouldn't both get 5 stars. But availability-wise, it's not really any extra work at all to get these in the Unova sequels. You have to catch whichever box art you're going to fuse with it anyway before you can catch Kyurem, and it drops the splicers that you need as you catch it. So that's easy, but it's still pretty late into the post-game, so it sadly gets 1.5 stars even compared to other legends. However, I admittedly do struggle to see where and how these fusions tie into the entire basis of this trio, Yin, Yang, and Wu-Ji from Taoism. Separately, they all represent one of said principles. It's said that this Pokemon waits for a hero to fill its missing parts of its body with truth or ideals, as we learned before, Reshiram representing truth and Zekrom ideals, which is cool, but again, maybe I just don't know enough about it to see the connections here, but it seems loose. Either way though, these are still the first Pokemon fusions happening between already really cool and interesting legendary dragons, 5 stars regardless. Design though is where I think we have the first difference between the two. They both of course try to keep the general air of the previous dragons in their designs, with Kyurem White becoming the dignified or regal white dragon, and Kyurem Black becoming more powerful and aggressive. Kyurem White absolutely nails this fusion. The icy armor and blades from Kyurem blend so well with the flowing white from Reshiram, let alone its Gen 5 sprite where it has so much of it turned red and engulfed in flames. Amazing design, easy 5 stars. But Kyurem Black really drops the ball comparatively. Zekrom looked amazing, powerful, yet sleek and composed. Kyurem Black, however, with its hanging lumbering fists just make it look like a mindless brute. The tail glowing with electricity looks amazing though, and overall it's still a looking legendary dragon fusion. It's just nowhere near as good. 4 stars. So that all comes together to give Kyurem White 4.125 stars overall and Kyurem Black 3.875 stars overall.